grinding every day. Long hours, no backup, no accountability. That ends now. The Empower Solopreneur Mastermind gives you one simple advantage: a weekly power session that turns isolation into domination. Every Friday morning on Zoom, you'll get real coaching and real feedback to make real moves. Join a group of driven professionals in a program designed for solopreneurs and people working at home. Stop getting stuck. Start scaling. Seats are limited. Lock in yours today at modernobserver.com/empower-mastermind.
A partial shutdown, a court win for ICE, Bitcoin, gold, and silver drop, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. A partial federal government shutdown went into effect early on Saturday, but the funding lapse is expected to be brief. The Senate voted on Friday to separate extended funding for the Department of Homeland Security after a White House deal delayed negotiations 2 weeks over Democratic demands to restrict immigration and customs enforcement. The House is expected to approve the changes by Wednesday. Democrats are pressing for changes they believe are necessary to prevent future abuses, including requiring immigration agents to wear body cameras, carry clear identification, and end roving patrols in cities. A federal judge has denied Minnesota's request to immediately halt the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement-led Operation Metro Surge. Saturday's ruling said the state and 2 cities failed to meet the high legal bar required to block a federal law enforcement operation at this stage of the case. The House of Representatives is expected to vote on whether to recommend contempt charges against former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton when it returns from recess. The House Rules Committee will be the first vote on the separate contempt resolutions and is expected to vote on Monday afternoon. House leaders have not scheduled the floor vote so far, but sources told Politico that it is expected to take place as early as next Wednesday. President Trump on Friday named Kevin Warsh to succeed Jerome Powell as Federal Reserve Chair, pending approval by the Senate. Warsh built his career at Morgan Stanley and at 35 became the youngest person to serve on the Fed's board in 2006. Bitcoin fell 11% in January, its 4th straight losing month, and February is not off to a great start for the flagship cryptocurrency either. This weekend, it fell below $76,000, meaning it has declined about 40% from its all-time high of approximately $126,200 set in October. That benchmark was reached amid unprecedented institutional interest in Bitcoin, particularly in Bitcoin spot ETFs. But Bloomberg says that optimism was front-run. Richard Hodges, the founder of the Faro BTC Volatility Fund, told Bloomberg that Bitcoin investors are not going to see another all-time high for 1,000 days. Gold and silver extended their sell-off, deepening losses from last Friday's rout as a firmer dollar and profit-taking drains momentum from a rally that had propelled the precious metals to record highs just days earlier. Spot gold lost 5% before paring losses to trade down 1.8% to $4,777 per ounce, after having crashed nearly 10% on Friday when prices plunged below $5,000 an ounce. Silver, which had surged alongside gold on safe haven demand and speculative inflows, also remained under pressure after last Friday's 30% nosedive that saw the metal log its worst day since March 1980. That's the Raw Naked Truth for February 2nd, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.